He was never very enthusiastic about creating a big public relation to project himself, to prove to the people that he needs attention, that he is a great performer, because he was so rich in himself musically.
I have certainly not ever been to a press conference called by Nikhil Banerjee. It is rather strange that he achieved as much fame as he did without the normal devices of promotion and self-promotion and press relations.
One of the things that he hated was the way Indian classical musicians are rated as 1, 2, 3, they're put into some kind of a rank. He wanted to be able to play the music without having to deal with that. This was something that even if you tried to ignore, it was hard to do, but he tried his best.
He would acknowledge criticism if he felt there was a genuine understanding, if there was enough knowledge and enough background on part of the critic to really give a clear and objective assessment. He had no problems with constructive criticism. Of course, he was happy about being acknowledged and being respected as a musician, to know that what he is doing actually makes sense and that he is giving something to his audience.
In 1968, Nikhil Banerjee received the Padma Shri Award from the Government of India in recognition for distinguished excellence in the arts. And in 1974, Nikhil Banerjee's genius and unique contribution to the classical music of India was formally acknowledged when he received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, India's highest national recognition given to practicing artists, both awards bestowed by the President of India.
He used to get very shy in public. I remember going to different concerts of different people with him, and he always tried to do it discreetly so that the people did not make a lot of fuss about it. The only time he was probably not shy was when he was playing the music. The shyness that he expressed in public just became more intense when he was with his family. I do not remember him being very talkative with us at all. Even though he was an extremely articulate speaker, he found it hard to express what he was thinking or feeling with his words. But he always enjoyed listening to other people. Anybody who came to hear him, and he was a professor or some learned person, scholar of any kind, he would give him extra time to sit down with him and talk.
He would rarely talk about his contemporary musicians. Whenever he said something, it was usually an expression of respect. He would respect everybody who made a sincere effort. He was very generous in that sense.
His relationship with other musicians was very good. Whenever I saw him, he gave me so much respect, even to artists like me who was very junior to him.
His relationship with his tabla accompanists were quite wonderful. And there were many tabla players who would come to his house and practice with him.
Oh, it's a great fun to play with Nikhil. I was really fortunate that I had that opportunity to play with him, and he really encouraged me a lot. Nikhil was very nice about explaining things because he had very clear conception.
Nikhil Banerjee always emulated the way Alauddin Khan Sahib led his life. His tastes were simple and he was a stoic by nature. This is one of the reasons why people always thought of him as, a saintly person. But people sometimes also tend to overemphasize on that and have a wrong impression of him. Although he was a saintly person, although he believed in plain living and high thinking, he was not an impractical person.
He was a very intelligent man with a powerful intellect. He was also kind, he was compassionate, he was not very demonstrative. He wouldn't say much about his spiritual and political inclinations. He was very discreet about that. He was a person who very deeply thought about the world and everything that goes on, but he would be careful not to upset anybody.
He was a straightforward kind of person, but he wouldn't go into arguments and spoil his mood. He would just keep quiet and withdraw. There was always an inner being which was hidden from others.
If he was with people he knew closely and intimately, he could be very outgoing and quite gregarious, and he had a great sense of humor as well. He could be hilariously funny when he wanted to be.
His friends and everybody, close associates, they all knew how he used to laugh out sometimes, and he would enjoy cutting jokes, wanting to hear jokes from people.
I had such a great respect for that man. He was a very scholarly person. He had tremendous knowledge of everything. Philosophy, literature, music, drama, yoga, religion, sports. You talk to him any subject.
In philosophy, he was very much interested about how one can reach the final stage of knowledge. He always said that music for him was a means of self-realization. Not doing these pujas and worships formally every day, offering flowers and fruits to gods. Even sometimes he would say, can Goddess Kali help you to play good? No, your practice can do that.
Whenever this point used to come, we talk about God or Goddess, he used to laugh. He said, I don't believe in that. What I believe is my music. I believe in sound. Then I used to raise this question, okay, if you believe that, then who is controlling? He used to say, well, nature. Nature is nature. I cannot call a god or goddess. Why I am going to the temple? For what reason? To do puja. To do puja to whom? Nikhil always used to say that. Puja to whom? I said, well, Mother Kali. Who is Mother Kali? Do you know her? Do you have her address?
In one sense, you might think that he was an atheist, but he was very philosophical. This philosophical mind was very much there in his music. He was a believer of God not as something beyond yourself, God as resting within you as the supreme energy.